it's Katie here from the Scrappy Sisters, and I am up today with the 12 by 12 layout, bashing my sequin stash. So again, this was a challenge for the Secret Not Secret Kit Club September scrappy weekend, and the challenge was to use sequins or enamel dots on a layout, and I don't have very many sequins, but I do have a few packets, and I decided that I would challenge myself to use sequins. So of course I went on good old Pinterest and found a few ideas, and then I decided to go with a circular design, of which I used a plate to trace the initial circle and then drew some messy circles around it. Just with a pen, I want the circle lines to be seen. The picture is a random photo, I know. It's of earrings and a brooch that I purchased from one of my favourite jewellery places in Australia. It's called Bok Bok Bagurk, and she makes handmade wooden jewellery that she paints with resin, and she's based in Ballarat in Victoria, and she's amazing and I love her things. So there's a plug, a plug for her. She makes the most amazing wooden jewellery that I love so much, particularly the brooches and the Christmas stuff. I've got so many of her Christmas brooches. And this is a mystery box that I received. She does mystery boxes once a year. And yeah, I got one and this is what I got in it. It's super cute. So you can see I'm pouring my sequins into this little paddy tin that my sister painted for me for one of I got it, I think it was last Christmas, as part of our scrappy advent calendar. So I've put our sequins in there, and I do stick one sequin down and then realise, hang on a minute, I need to back my photo and get my photo kind of done first. So I stick one down and then go, wait a second. So I go back and I'm going to sort of mount my photo first. And so I pull out some tissue paper from my stash and I go with a black and a white. So I grab that and then I back my photo onto tissue paper. And again, I do the black and the white tissue paper. And I do cut it rather than rip it. I am terrible at ripping paper and tissue paper. It just does not work for me. I like the look that it gets, like the distressed edge, but I cannot rip tissue paper to save myself, not in a straight line anyway. And then if I use a ruler or something, it just looks like I cut it in a straight line. Anyway, I know you can get rulers that are like jagged to help with the kind of distressed look. I don't have one of those. I just have a regular ruler. So anyway, I just use my scissors, moral of this story. I also have a little container I should have shown you guys on my desk that kind of has random things in it that I'd really like to use up. And so bits left over from kits and little bits and pieces that I just don't think to include on layouts. And so one of those is a piece of twine that I am going to use. But first of all, I'm going to put a doily down behind some of my photo. So these doilies, I think they're the ones you get in the big Amazon pack. I'm not sure I got them in a kit. And I've still got quite a few of them left. But they're big enough that it sort of peeks out the top and the bottom of the photo. But I decided that I didn't want that. And so I'm going to cut the doily in half and just use half of it. And then I do want the twine. And then I realised that actually I probably want the twine to go between the doily and the photo. So I'm going to stick the twine on the back of my photo first. I don't know how other people do twine, but I kind of cheat a little bit and stick it down to the back of my photo with tape, and sort of, make it look like it's randomly sticking out behind my photo, but really it's taped down. I just find it easier than trying to mess around with it. And I do peel the tape off to help with kind of adding extra bits of twine. So I'm about to do that now, peel the tape off and then add kind of a few more loops of twine sticking out. And I only do it on the sort of left-hand side of the photo there, as you can see. I don't do it across the whole photo because my photo is going to go quite close to the right-hand side of the layout. So I don't really want the twine to stick out over the edge of my page, even though it would fit in the page protectors because there is a little bit of space in the page protectors. So you can see there that I'm happy with how that looks, and I'm going to stick the doily down. And again, in the end, only a tiny bit peeks out, but that's okay because that's what I wanted. And then I'm going to add a couple of foam dots to the back, foam squares to the back, and then stick that down, and that is it for the photo. And so I can now move on to the sequins, and I'm glad I did do that first because I think it would have been really difficult to come back and do that. Now, obviously, I don't make you watch me stick all of my sequins down. But I thought I would show you how I'm doing sort of the first few, and then I stop the camera and do the rest off camera. And actually I come back the next day, so the lighting does look different. But you can see I'm just using some tweezers, which are not that great, but I did buy them from like the $2 shop in Australia, but I didn't have anything, and they are helpful. They just get a bit gunky, so you have to keep kind of wiping them off. And they're not, they're very cheap, so they're very thin. But anyway, that's fine, they do the job. So you can see here I'm just sticking down a few sequins randomly, and I'm going with a whole eclectic mix of colours and shapes and sort of even sizes. So I've got love hearts and sequins on the go. So you can see here, this is what it looks like to finish off with. And this is the next day, so the lighting is better. I started the video in an evening, but now I'm in the daytime light, the morning light, which is the best light, but I don't often get to scrap in the morning, and it is a little bit overcast outside, so I don't have a lot of shadow, which is fantastic. I wish all my filming days were like this. I've pulled out a few things from my stash off camera too, because I knew it would make things go a bit quicker. And funnily enough, this is actually an ephemera pack, the ephemera that I'm using now, from Aldi, of all places. I don't know what it's called, Vintage Escape. It's called Vintage Escape, and from a company called Creative PL. I know they're available exclusive to Aldi. I don't know if they were only available in Australian Aldi stores or all Aldi stores, but yes, I didn't buy much of the scrapbooking stuff from Aldi because the papers are really thin, and the ephemera is really thin as well, but I just thought I would try the ephemera pack. It's very glittery, and glitter does go everywhere, but I'm happy with how it looks. So, sorry, while I was rambling on about the Aldi stuff, I did stick down my title, which is just simply lovely. You know, I mean, it's a photo of some jewelry, so I don't need, an elaborate title for that. And I stuck down 2 tags, and now I'm sticking down a geometric heart and a little speech bubble that says love. I know my title says lovely, and then I've got a love, but, you get the gist. I really like this stuff. And now I am working on the cluster down the bottom. Again, I've only got 2 clusters on this layout. That seems to be a theme for me of late, but I've stuck down a little yellow flower because there's quite a few yellow sequins, and there's obviously the yellow teapot and cup set of earrings, and then I stick down the love heart, and then I've got a banner that says my favorite things, which I stick down. And then I have a look in this pack, which is actually from the reject shop, of like little chipboard stickers, because the bright colours worked well, I thought, but I just didn't think it really needed anything else, so I left it at that. And of course, to finish off the layout, I am going to use my Heidi Swap Colour Shine, and I've got 3 colours that I'm going to put on today's layout, and I'm just double checking what the colours are: the teal, the peach, and of course the gold, which I am nearly out of. Disaster, but that's okay. I bought a replacement, which I think I've mentioned on a video before, and once I start using it, I will do a bit of a review to see if it's any good. I'm hoping it is. So I'm just trying to concentrate the sprinkles around obviously the circle to fit with the kind of the theme, and it does look good, and I'm happy that I did them. I think it kind of, it adds a little something to the layout and sort of brings it together a little bit. So I've added the teal, the peach, and now I'm adding the gold. And that's the end. I do add a few big splotches accidentally, but I just soak them up with a baby wipe, and it's not perfect, but it's close enough. They kind of blend in with the large sequins anyway, so it's no big deal. I didn't cover my photo for this one either because I didn't care so much if I got splotches on this photo. It's not on somebody's face or anything like that, so it didn't bother me. So you can see here, that is a layout completed. And here are some close-ups. I hope you're having a great day, and we'll see you next time. Bye.